Hi, everyone. I hope that this message finds everyone well. I want to share a story with you. Happened in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, a couple generations ago. There was a great rabbi, great man, Rav Aryeh Levin, great biography called A Tzaddik in Our Time. And the stories about Rav Aryeh Levin really show how he indeed was a tzaddik. And one story in particular stands out. And as the story goes, Yerushalayim, like it is today, had a mix of secular and religious people, had a mix of observances. And on one particular Friday night, as Shabbos was coming in, Rav Aryeh Levin was walking to shul to attend services. And on his way to shul, he sees that this store is open and there are customers lined up out the door. It's just moments before Shabbos, and it's a store owner who seemed to have no inclination or no intention closing down his business for Shabbos. And he was friendly with everyone. He had a relationship with everyone in the neighborhood. And he felt that he could say something that would be helpful. And he goes to the shop owner. It was an ice cream shop. The hot day, and the ice cream man was making a lot of money. And he had many more customers to go through. And he seemed to want to make sure that he took care of his customers. But Shabbos was coming. And Rav Aryeh Levin was one of the prominent rabbis in town. And of course, this is a Jewish neighborhood. It's Yerushalayim. He goes to the shop owner, and he says to him in a quiet voice, in a whisper, something in his ear. He goes on his way to shul, and that's it. Within a few moments after he left this store, the whole line disbanded. The shop seemed to close down, and the shop owner went right to attend services in shul. And people inquire, everybody was walking to shul, and they saw this happen, and they saw the long line of customers, and all of a sudden the store didn't seem like it was closing, but it was closed down. So they inquired, what exactly did Rav Aryeh Levin say? So you and I might think to ourselves that, what, he said, this week's Parsha, 10 Commandments, and talked to him about Shabbos and commerce on Shabbos, conducting business on Shabbos. They might have said to him, it's not appropriate. Here you are, with everybody watching you. It's one of the popular stores in town. That's not what he said. Turns out what he said to him was in his ear, if I was the store owner and I was in charge of selling all this ice cream and I could make all this money, I'm not sure if I'd be able to withstand the test myself. Shocking. It was really disorienting. And to hear Rabbi Levin said he's not sure if he could close the store really helped foster a connection in a very humane way, in a very gentle way, helping the store owner understand that there is right and wrong, that it's hard for people sometimes to decide or balance the two. And it really goes to show us that we're all one community. We're now done with Tisha B'Av. And we see that the story of Tisha B'Av, you look at the history in terms of Jews turning on each other, and of course the hatred that existed that led to the destruction, that Bar Kamsa was not upset at Kamsa for what he did to him. He was upset that the rabbis did nothing. He was upset at the bystanders. He was upset at the people who just kind of let it go. And if the rabbis would have just whispered into Kamsa's ear, we realize that there's such animosity and it's hard and it's a big test for you. We're not sure what we would do. So then that would have been a kind of approach that they could have listened to. They didn't. The problem is that the rabbis who were at that party where Bar Kamsa was disrespected, so they didn't do anything. And so it's incumbent upon us to see how we can act sensitively towards one another. This Shabbos is known as Shabbos Nachamu. We need to think about bridging the divide. We all need to take responsibility for each other. It's more obvious. Financially, somebody's in need. Okay, we share our resources. But spiritually, that's where we really, like in the story of Kamsa and Bar Kamsa, the story of Tisha B'Av, we wouldn't have to sit on the floor anymore. We took responsibility for each other and thought to ourselves, what's the most sensitive way that we can get each other, ourselves also, but really get each other in a way that's comfortable and high levels of sensitivity to be better, collectively, to be better. So there's a mitzvah to give reproach, and we learn from Rabbi Ari Levin, Tzaddik in Our Time is the name of the book. We learn from his example the right way to go about trying to encourage each other. So bridging the divide that exists, trying to have each other's back, be there for each other, and to be able to talk to one another when necessary in the way that we'll be able to have collective success. Because we can't be successful. There are people falling behind. And Rabbi Ari Levin said, you know what? We need to observe Shabbos as a community. I don't know what I can do, but I can try. By exhibiting this level of sensitivity, not only was he successful in having this store in the Jewish community near the shul observe the day of rest, but he was able to be an example for everyone, even though he was quiet about it. Everyone found out the extreme levels of sensitivity of this rabbi in this neighborhood in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, for all of us to learn from. Thank you and have a great Shabbos.